People say you made so many shots under, so much duress and pressure. I'll tell you what pressure is. Pressure is playing for Larry Bird.
So Bird, for me, was the toughest matchup I ever had during the course of my career.
All of a sudden, this name keeps coming. Bird. He goes to the right. Bird. He makes the shot. Bird. I said, God damn, who is Bird?
There are great players in basketball, and then there's Larry Bird. The moment his name is mentioned, the tone changes. Conversations slow down, but the stories grow bigger, almost like people are trying to capture something hard to explain. Bird wasn't just admired around the league. He was placed on another level entirely. Teammates, opponents, and coaches all describe him the same way. A relentless competitor, a master of mind games, and a basketball genius who always seemed one step ahead. Even today, those who played against him still talk about his toughness like it was something rare. Coaches point to his vision on the court as if it were instinct, not skill. And fans? They revisit his highlights like they're studying history. What made Bird special wasn't just numbers or championships. It was the feeling he left behind. He didn't look like the most athletic player, but somehow he controlled games and overwhelmed everyone in front of him. It felt unreal, like watching something you couldn't quite explain. And when the conversation shifts to defining rivalries, one stand above the rest. Magic Johnson versus Larry Bird. Their battles didn't just decide games, they reshaped the league. At a time when the NBA needed new life, their rivalry became its driving force. Lakers versus Celtics turned into must-watch events, where every matchup felt like a mental and physical chess match fueled by pure competitiveness. Years later, when Magic stood on the stage during his Hall of Fame induction, he didn't hesitate to acknowledge the truth. As fierce as their rivalry was, it was built on respect. Because in pushing each other to the limit, they didn't just create unforgettable moments. They helped elevate the entire game to a new level.
Larry, you're just what a basketball player should be. The biggest reason that I'm here is because of you making me go to that gym every summer. Not only stand for 4 hours, but I figured I better stay for 6 because I knew you were there about 5 or 6 yourself. It was tremendous playing against you, and I'm just happy, and I thank God that I got to know you, not as just Larry Bird, the basketball player, but Larry Bird, the man, and I appreciate you coming out here doing this.
They weren't just opponents. They mirrored each other in ways that made their rivalry unforgettable. Larry Bird brought relentless focus, pinpoint accuracy, and a cold-blooded confidence that constantly pushed Magic Johnson to raise his level. Magic often admitted that watching Bird wasn't just about competition, it was motivation. Every performance from Bird set a new standard, forcing Magic to work harder, think sharper, and never settle. And when the finals came around, it wasn't just about winning a championship. For Magic, it was about proving he truly belonged on that stage. When Magic later reflected on his career, he could have named anyone as his greatest influence, but he chose Bird first. Because beyond the bright lights and big moments, Bird was the one rival who never gave him a break, never allowed him to relax, and never let him feel comfortable. Then there's Michael Cooper, one of the league's top defensive stoppers during that era. Known for shutting down elite scorers, Cooper had the speed, strength, and discipline to challenge anyone. But even he admitted that guarding Bird was a different kind of challenge. According to Cooper, Bird didn't rely on raw athleticism. Instead, he used angles, perfect footwork, and a lightning-quick release that caught defenders off guard. Every move was calculated. Every possession felt like a mental battle. Even with support from a dominant presence like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, slowing Bird down was nearly impossible. Because what made him special wasn't just skill, it was the way he controlled the game, turning every moment into a test that few could pass.
He catches the ball, he goes up in the air, and here I come. And I'm like, I'm getting ready to smash this shit, man. So I jump up, and I got my hand, and I don't know how Larry got this ball between Kareem and I. Because Kareem had his hands up. I'm coming with my right hand, and he hit a great pass. Like I said, I don't know how he got it to him. Hits Robert Parrish for a roll to the basket, and Robert dunks it. And Larry looks over his shoulder at me and he laughs. He said, "I told you, motherfucker." And you know what? That right there, that shows you the essence and who this guy was. He was about team. He was about winning. He was about making plays. And
What really unsettled Michael Cooper wasn't just the skill. It was the mind of Larry Bird. Bird didn't simply play the game. He seemed to read it from a higher level. Cooper recalled moments where Bird would calmly tell him exactly what move was coming next, then execute it perfectly right in front of him. It wasn't arrogance, it was certainty, and that's what made it so hard to defend. Cooper, not known for giving out praise, admitted that facing Bird meant bringing your absolute best every time, and even then, it still might not be enough. That same respect came from John Salley, a tough enforcer from the Detroit Pistons bad boys era. Surrounded by physical play and nonstop trash talk, Salley had seen it all, but Bird was different. It wasn't just the scoring, it was the unshakable mindset. You could talk to him, hit him, even knock him down, but he'd get back up, call his next shot, and then make it like he already knew the outcome.
He looks around and goes, "What's up, Sal?" I said, "No." He goes, "You on me?" I said, "Yeah, I got size on you right now. I've been watching every movie." He goes, "Y'all not double teaming?" And he's looking around. He goes, "Yo." I go, "Nah, it's just me, fella." He goes, "Mouse in the house. Mouse in the house." And they change the play. And he catches the ball. He does this. And he shoots it. He says, "Sal, you better ask for a double team, bro." I got 2 quick fouls because I'm smart like that. Yeah, he was, and he was always in shape, and he hated Bill Laimbeer. So when you got a guy that hates somebody, he's playing for entirely different.
John Salley always said Larry Bird never folded under pressure. He had an answer for everything. What amazed him most was that Bird didn't just talk, he proved it every time. He'd call out plays, challenge entire benches, even talk to coaches, and still deliver exactly as promised. Salley admitted you couldn't bully Bird because he was tougher than everyone on the floor. And coming from someone known for physical play, that says a lot. Even Nolan Richardson recognized something special. Before ever seeing Bird dominate in the NBA, he remembered hearing the buzz on late-night radio about a kid from French Lick lighting up college basketball like it was nothing.
I'm listening to the radio, and I have no clue of the players on either team. All of a sudden, this name keeps coming. Bird. He goes to the right. Bird. He makes the shot. Bird. I said, God damn, who is Bird? Bird. You know, here's Bird, and Bird this, and Bird. Oh, did you see the pass that Bird made? I can't see it, but I'm just trying to imagine it. And when the time I got to the end, I said, damn, that brother can play. When I got the newspaper the next morning and saw Larry's picture, I said, damn.
As Larry Bird rose to dominate the league, Nolan Richardson saw firsthand that the hype was real. Bird didn't rely on athleticism. He relied on intelligence and grit, breaking even the best game plans and moments. And when it came to elite competition, even Bernard King, one of the most unstoppable scorers of his era, admitted Bird was the toughest opponent he ever faced, turning every matchup into a battle where if you weren't fully prepared, he would take over and leave no doubt. What truly made Larry Bird such a nightmare for Bernard King wasn't just that he scored. It was how he did it. King described Bird's game as calm and precise, almost surgical, with no rush and no wasted motion. A simple shot fake, a step back, a smooth fade away, and the result was often the same. 2 points. What stood out most to King was Bird's ability to break you down in every way at once. Mentally, physically, and emotionally, sometimes all within a single quarter.